guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing a story time about how I was actually in a house fire. So this happened maybe like I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. I was still in high school at the time, so actually it was probably like almost 5 years now. Wow, that's crazy. So anyway, pretty much this was probably my sophomore year of high school. At the time, I did have a job. I was actually working at this grocery store that I love. I'm sorry. I'm just upset because I live in Florida now and we don't have this grocery store here, and I'm stuck with Publix. Okay? Publix. I get sidetracked. Moving on. So at the time, I was working at this grocery store, like I said, and Kit, I'm not going to use anybody's real names in my story times, just because I don't know who's going to watch this video. I don't know, you know, who knows the person, and I'm not the type of person to really try to tarnish somebody's image or change how you see a certain person. So I'm not really going to include names. But these people obviously will know who they are. Anyway, Kit, her birthday was coming up and her parents actually went out of town. So she knew they weren't coming back. They went out of town for the weekend for a wedding. We're teenagers, and at the time we knew her parents weren't coming back and we had the whole house to ourselves. You're damn right we threw a party. So we threw a birthday party for her and it was pretty fun. I mean, we had a few people show up, Kit, myself, and there's another girl who was also friends with us, and we'll call her Jessica. So Kit, Jessica, and I, we were all there, and we had a fourth girl, and her name was, we'll call her Kyla. So Kyla, Kit, and Jessica, and I were all, you know, the last ones at the party because we're all friends, and we obviously were all gonna stay the night. So we had been drinking, taking shots all night, like partying, playing music, dancing, the usual stuff that we do. So we finally go to bed. I pass out early because I can't hold my liquor. God knows I can't hold my liquor. I don't wake up till like noon because I party hard and I sleep late. That's what I do. I didn't wake up till like noon, 1 o'clock. And around that time, I think it was either her stepbrother or somebody else that was in the house with us was making pancakes. And the way that her house was set up, she had like a living room and then a downstairs that was kind of like a family room, and then a basement, and then she also had a second level that was like where all the bedrooms were. So really her house was almost like 4 stories. It's weird. So the family room, there's a second kitchen, so it was downstairs before you get to the basement, and so somebody was making pancakes down there, and so we ended up going down there to hang out. So after we ate our pancakes, maybe like 20-30 minutes later, we're just chilling on the couch watching TV. I think we were watching like funny YouTube videos or something, I don't know. All of a sudden, I just hear this screaming. It was one of those screams that you hear and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Like, that's the type of scream that it was. So I knew like something was wrong, like instantly. I was like, what's going on? I didn't even really think about it. My first instinct is to jump up. So when I jumped up, there was a doorway that was kind of across from me that I could see. And the doorway actually led outside. So at the time, it's February in New York, so it's the dead of winter. Like, there's snow up to my damn ass cheeks. I have on snow pants up to here, okay? Like, I'm not playing no games. That's the type of winter that it is in New York. But when this situation happened, I wasn't thinking about any of that at all. My first thought was to just go. So I jumped up and I saw the doorway that was across from me, and in that doorway, I could see the flames. And the door was actually right by the staircase, so the flames are like right there. So all 3 of us girls, because I think it was just Kit and Jessica and I, because the other girl, I don't remember the alias that I gave her. I smoked too much. Oh, she left, went home early, whatever. We got up, and when we saw that, we just bolted. I didn't even go upstairs and grab my shoes, like, because all of my stuff that I had at the time was actually in Kit's bedroom. I didn't even grab it. I literally just ran outside, and I'm in like a t-shirt and like pants, pajama pants, in the dead of winter, in the snow. I'm barefoot. My life flashed before my eyes. I was trying to get out. We go outside, and at this point, Kit's just in shock. Like, she doesn't even know what to do. Like, I'm in shock, but she's even more in shock because it's her house. So she doesn't even know what to do. She's just standing there. Like, her parents had went in, like, into the garage to try to get the cars from out of the garage in case the garage caught fire. So they're trying to start the car won't start, so they're having trouble. When they're trying to start the car, the 2 dogs that she had ran back in the house. So now we're concerned about getting the dogs out. Somehow we got the dogs out. I don't really remember how, but we got the dogs out, and her stepbrother at the time actually went back into the house. So we're like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you going back in the house? She's on the phone with 911, Kit. And they're like, 911, what's your problem? What's your emergency? She's like, my house is on fire. Like, she said it just like that. Just like that. She was in shock, and I was in shock too. We were just standing in the snow, like we didn't know what to do. They came, I guess, but it took them a while. Because like I said, it's the dead of winter and there's snow. So it took them a while to finally get there. But her brother comes back out of the house with the Xbox. You really went back into a burning house for your Xbox. I did not know that it was that serious. Like, I did not know. Maybe I just don't know because I don't play video games, but like, I didn't know it was that serious. So we were just looking at him like, what is wrong with you? Like, you really went back into your house that is on fire for a game system. Like, you're nuts. I guess a neighbor had drove by and saw us all standing out there in the snow, and he was like, are you guys okay? Like, what's going on? So we told him, the house is on fire. Like, he was like, oh, come with me. Like, we'll go to my house. I live just a few blocks up the street. We'll go to my house, and I'll give you coats, I'll give you, tea, whatever you need, come, so you don't have to wait outside in the cold. Come over to my house. So we got in his car, we went over there, and Jessica dipped. She called her mom and was like, her house just caught on fire, like, come get me. So her mom came and got her, and I told my family what was going on, and they were on the way to get me as well. So in the meantime, we were just chilling at the neighbor's house. These kids at the neighbor's house were weird as hell. I'm not trying to talk about nobody's child, but like, and just how they acted was just like, it was just weird. I was kind of trying to stay away from the kids, and like, I was just kind of by myself doing my own thing with Kit and myself because I didn't know what they had going on. I didn't really want to know. I just was minding my own business. And I knew I had to work that day, so I'm like, thinking, well, should I go to work today? Like, what should I do? Like, this is fucking stressful. Like, I literally almost died. Like, I don't know what to do. So the firefighters get there, and they were trying to put the fire out. But the issue is, it's the dead of winter. So the hoses keep freezing. And it's extremely difficult for them to put it out just because the hoses won't stay wet. They turn into ice. You can't really put a fire out with ice. So it was really, really hard for them. She lost probably that whole house. Like, it's just gone, up in flames. It's actually kind of sad. Like, at the time, I was a 16-year-old kid, so I didn't really have a job. I had a job working at, the grocery store, but since of child labor laws and things like that, I can't really work as often as I would like to, and so I don't have money for the things that I want to have money for. So that being said, I grew up in a household with 3 other children, and my mother, was a single mother, so she was providing for us majority of the time up until my stepdad came into the picture. So when things would get lost or I would run out of things, a lot of the times I would have to go without for a little bit, just until my auntie or my grandma or somebody or my mom, whoever was helping out in that scenario, can get me something else. When I went to her house, I literally brought almost everything with me. My purse, my wallet, I don't think I had a phone no, I did have a phone at the time, but it was like a track phone, so it wasn't worth anything. A phone, my purse, like a bunch of different outfits because I didn't know what I was gonna wear. I didn't know what we were gonna do the next day. I'm not expecting her house to catch on fire. I also had my work clothes. I had a JanSport backpack. JanSport backpacks are not cheap. Just saying. Yeah, that was right there, just alone. I lost maybe $1,000 worth of stuff in that house. Because I had Ugg boots in there. I had a pair of sneakers, my work uniform. I had like a whole bunch of stuff in there. In my wallet, including my money that was in my jacket, which burnt up, literally everything. So when you're in a fire, what they do is they have, I think it's similar to an insurance company, but I don't know if it is. Don't quote me because 9 times out of 10 I don't know what I'm talking about. But what they do is they have you write down everything that you lost and document everything that you lost. Every little thing, down to that pen that was sitting on your desk that was worth $2. They want to know about it so that they can give you the money for it and that they can replace it for you. My mother and my grandmother and my aunt told me, hey, you know, start a list of the things that you lost and just pretty much document it and write it down so that when the insurance people do come over and go see Kit, you can give Kit the list so she can add your stuff to the list, and that way she'll be able to pay you back for the stuff that you lost because we can't replace all of that stuff for you. So I lost a lot of clothes. I lost a whole backpack, almost all of my school supplies. Like, it was crazy. So me and Kit at the time actually went to school together. We weren't going to the same high school. We went to the same trade school together. So we saw each other every single day. I asked her about it and I would remind her about it, but again, I didn't want to be like super pushy. You know, she just lost her fucking house. I'm not heartless. You know, I was asking her about it, but I wasn't like hounding her about it, if that makes sense. So I guess she told me, I'm trying to remember the specific details, but she told me that they still hadn't gotten the money. They still hadn't gotten the money. They still hadn't gotten the money. So at this point, it was like months went by. So I'm just like, okay. I asked her, you know, hey, like, it's been a really long time. Like, I'm shocked, like, you know, you still don't have the money. And at this point, it's getting close to summer, so you know it's been a while. I start to see her come into school with new stuff, a new backpack on, a new pair of shoes on. And it wasn't like cheap stuff. It was like nice stuff. And I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, like you didn't get no money, but what, where you get them shoes at? Where you get that backpack from? I was kind of looking at her kind of sideways at this point because I'm like, okay. My main issue is the fact that if we're supposed to be close and we're supposed to be best friends, you can't replace the stuff that I lost. Even if your father or your mother or whoever is refusing to give you money to give me, the money that they give you, you should take and say, hey girl, I know you lost a lot of your stuff. I'm your friend. I care about you, and I know your financial situation. I know, you know, how life is for you. Why don't you come shopping with me, and we'll split the money that he gave me. But the situation didn't go like that. So eventually I just dropped it because I knew I knew there was no way I was getting that money. There was no way. That was actually one of the very first signs that I caught that Kit may not have had my best interests at heart. I'm the type of person where if you're doing something to me or you screw me over, I'm not really gonna get revenge on you, just because I know that there are people looking out for me at the end of the day, and I know that I'm a good person, and I know that when you screw over good people or you treat other people like garbage, it eventually is gonna come back and bite you in your ass. I don't really tend to seek revenge on people. I just kind of let the Lord handle it. You know, it's not a big deal anymore. I was in high school. I'm over it now. And I make money now anyway, so it doesn't really matter because I can buy my own stuff. At the time, it really kind of irritated me. So yeah, that was probably one of the craziest experiences that I've dealt with, honestly. It's so scary, especially hearing the fear in somebody's voice. You know that they're not playing around. You know that they're serious, and you know you need to get out of that situation immediately. You always hear people say, like, that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Well, it really did. Like, when you're in that type of situation, it's completely different. Like, you feel it. Like, you feel that something is wrong. So it was just, it was actually pretty nuts. I won't make this story time too long. So that's pretty much the story. I mean, none of us got hurt. Thankfully, we got out safe. Oh, her house actually caught back on fire at 3 a.m. a few hours later. I guess the people that they bought the house from did their own electrical wiring, and it was kind of faulty, so it was something electrical, and it was in the wall. Like, the fire was actually in the wall, so it wasn't something that they could control, but they pretty much lost their house. If they didn't lose it to fire damage, they lost it to mold and water damage from the firefighters putting out the fire. So they pretty much had to just go get a new house, because that house wasn't even salvageable. Like, they just had to knock it down. They had to knock it down. Who's texting me? My mom's texting me about my cat. I don't think there's anything else really important about that story, but it was pretty scary. If you don't want to be like me, make sure you unplug your flat irons, ladies, unplug your wands, and make sure you put the blunt out all the way when you're done smoking it, because nobody wants to be in a fire. If you like the story time and you want to hear more story times like it, because trust me, I have a million, comment down below what I should do next. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and definitely hit that subscribe button below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
It's real.